Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday, May the 5th through to the 11th, 2017. So if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I do this every week. I shuffle a different angel card deck for each day of the week. And what comes up is the message that's going to help us get through the day. It's not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. That's not really how this works. The future is a clean slate and it's up to you what you do with it. The point of this is just to give you guidance that's going to help you navigate challenges that come up and to help you make the best choices that you can. So we'll start with Monday, and please don't ask me how each card can relate, how one card can relate to so many people in so many different ways. I don't know. That's just how the law of attraction works. It still blows my mind actually that one card can mean so many things to people who are going through completely different circumstances at different ages, different genders, different ethnicities, all sorts of things. It's one of the things that I call magic. That's the way the universe works. And while I've been blabbing on, I've managed to shuffle, and we have 3 of Gabriel here. And it's about prosperity. So the symbolism here of the boat coming in, this is for Monday, by the way. The boat coming in, you know that saying of your ships come in, and it talks about good fortune coming through. Very appropriate since the planet Jupiter, which is associated with expansion, luck, fortune, all the good things, it's been in retrograde for 4 months and it's coming out this week. Yay, which means things that have been halted, or where you've been struggling to get ahead, you're now going to get like a real push forward with that. So particularly in a career sense. So this is just letting you know that all the things that you've been waiting for are coming for you. Now that does not mean that today, Monday, everything's going to fall into place. It's a way of offering you hope and saying that things ahead are good, that things coming up ahead for you are going to go well. So it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, particularly for those of you who've been struggling to get momentum. Now, it also, even though that may happen quite quickly, that change in energy, it's still going to be, it's going to take time. It's not going to be instant. So you may find like you're going 1 step forward, 2 steps back type thing. And you really need to be careful and make sure you are doing planning. You're not rushing ahead with that sort of and being spontaneous. So make sure that you are planning and still working through what needs to be worked through. But obviously jump on opportunities, but you still need to be measured with that. So that's Monday. That card, by the way, 3 of Gabriel, I talk to Gabriel a lot and ask for motivation. She's a good one for focus and motivation. And I know I've said she. Some people think Gabriel is a masculine angel. I don't really care about genders, and they don't have them anyway. Genders are a human construct. So I just use she because that's what I'm kind of used to. I think of Gabriel's energy as more feminine, but honestly it doesn't matter. So please just take whatever you need from that. So Tuesday here I have giving and receiving, and it's very Australian. It's got Australian animals, even though this particular card deck is by Doreen Virtue, who's American. Anyway, it's talking about giving and receiving, and it's so love is an energy. It needs to flow, but like money, you can't hold on to it and expect to prosper. You need to give it, and then you receive more. So if you feel like there isn't enough love in your life, look at where you might be contributing to that by not giving enough love. So giving love can be things like giving compliments, giving money, things like giving offers of help, kindness, that sort of thing. Telling people how much they mean to you. So when you do that, you start to receive more. And if you are someone who is take, and I don't think anybody watching this would really be that sort of person, because if you work with spiritual energy in any way or have any sort of understanding of spiritual law, you would know that being a take person is not going to work out too well. But you may attract people who are take, and I call them energy vampires. They're the sort of people who will take advantage of people. They're not bad people. They just they don't really understand how things work. It's not your job to educate them. However, it is your job to set boundaries. If people are taking from you and not giving you anything back, the sort of friends who ring you up and talk about their problems but don't have any time to listen to yours, those are not the sort of people you want in your life. So you need to set some boundaries about what you will allow in your life. Sometimes people will say, well, they should know better than to treat me that way. And actually, the universe is sending them to you to get you to set the boundaries so that you can demonstrate that you understand your worth and that you value your time, remembering that your time is the one thing you can never get back. So it's very precious. Where you spend it is really important. So if you value your time and your energy, you're not going to let people take advantage of it. So if you know how to set boundaries and you set them, you just won't attract people like that. So it's up to you to teach people how to treat you. So but do make sure with this card, sometimes we do accidentally start to be a bit taking too much from people. Be aware of where you might be doing that, and just make sure that you've got an even balance of give and take in your most important relationships. Now, looking at Wednesday. Don't compromise, very similar to what we just had, that message I just spoke to you about in terms of people taking advantage. So you make sure you're not letting that happen, and you're being uncompromising about your beliefs. You're standing up for what you believe in, and you're not giving away too much. It's important for you to stand your ground here. For some of you, that will be in the workplace, and it will be around something related to the way you operate personally, what you're being asked to do. For some of you, it will relate to a matter of principle, and it's important that you stand firm with that, with what you think is important, and you don't waver on that. Thursday, that was a weird shuffling. Teaching and learning. Now, we're all here to learn, and we're all here to teach others in some way, ideally in a non-lectury, non-judgy way. So I love it how I've talked about this before, but Dr. Brian Weiss always talks about this as being an earth school. We're here to learn. Our souls have made a choice to come into this life, into this body, to learn things. And we don't always know exactly what those things are, but as we go along, we start to learn more and more what exactly that might be. And sometimes you might have a pretty good idea of where that might be. So, for example, if you keep attracting people who take advantage of you, just because that seems to be the theme of the week, the universe, perhaps one of your lessons from a past lifetime was about about self-worth and about you making sure that people don't take advantage of you, that you teach people how to treat you, and that you can demonstrate that. And once you've learnt the lesson, you don't attract those people anymore. So teaching and learning, think about, now they're saying some of you are getting very specific calls to teach something in a formal capacity, and you need to take that up. So, and if you think you're not ready, you are. You may not have all the answers right now, but you will learn everything you need to know as you go. So don't wait and think, I'm not ready. You are ready. Well, as much as any of us are ever ready for anything. And I love that quote that says, none of us are ever really ready for anything. And it's also about making sure we're willing to learn. Some of us we get very stuck in our ways, and we think our way is absolutely right. And no one has all the answers, including me. So don't get too stuck in your ideas of what is and what should be. Make sure you have an open mind. Friday, I just think it's probably the teaching that's more important there. There might be ways that you can teach others as well, even if not in a formal capacity, but the way you teach people. So the most valuable or the most effective way that you teach people is by living according to your own principles and your own standards, because in that way you're serving as a role model. And you're not telling people what to do, you're just living to the best way you think you can, and that inspires other people to do the same, which is one of the best lessons any of us can give. So Friday, High Priestess. Interesting, this came up for a client I had recently. So High Priestess speaks to knowledge that we have within us that we don't know how we know. So it's knowledge that has come into us from past lifetimes or from our intuition, so it's been handed down as a message from the universe, and it's asking you to trust it, which is a message we get all the time as well. Now, for some of you who that, will be the people specifically that I was speaking to just before about the teaching, this is affirming that you do have the knowledge and you do have the ability. It's something innate within you, so go with that. And it's just reminding us of our responsibility to be teachers to each other. And again, not in a, this is right, follow me, I know everything type way, or a judgy way, you've got it wrong. It's more in just a way of doing the best you can and living the way that you want, that you desire to live, I guess, or that resonates strongly to you. You treat people the way you want to be treated, that you act with kindness, that you forgive, all those sort of things, which are obviously not always easy to do, but you do the best you can on that. Now Saturday has just jumped straight out, and it's listen to your intuitive feelings. So intuition can come to you from a number of ways. Sometimes it's sound, it might be visions or dreams, but it can also strongly be feelings. And this is where people talk about, particularly mums, they talk about gut instinct. And I don't know, mother's instinct is something that mums talk about in regards to when they have a child. They feel strongly that nurturing sense of what that child needs. And that's, you don't have to be a mum to feel that though. It's just because there's a strong connection between the mother and child that can come through. But this gut instinct that we talk about, it's always right. It's so annoying sometimes because you'll get a message to do something and your brain will go, that's stupid, that costs too much money, or that doesn't make any sense, so you don't do it. And then you find out that later that you would have been right to follow that instinct, gut instinct. So it's really important to pay attention to it and to trust that those messages are right. Sunday the 11th of June. New love. We had romance so strongly last week. It came through for couples who needed to work on their relationships, because everybody always needs to work on their relationship. That's how relationships work. They're an ongoing project. And also singles, there was a lot of encouragement coming through about love coming your way, and this affirms that. So now it does use the word new, and I do feel for most of the singles listening, this is letting you know that you haven't met the person yet. But for couples, I don't want you to think, oh, that's not for me. Remember that love is fluid, it changes. So the person that you fell in love with is probably not the person next to you right now, because you both have evolved and you will continue to evolve, and you need to allow bandwidth for that process to play out, because it doesn't mean that if you're not the same people you don't love each other anymore, because your love adapts with that. So allow people to change is really important. Allow yourself to change and know that love will work regardless, as long as you keep doing the things you need to do to keep your relationship healthy. You schedule time together. You are actively engaged in each other's lives. You are not needy. You are not dependent. You are not telling each other what to do. You are giving each other room to grow. You are supporting each other. All that sort of stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's the word new. That's what they're saying again. It's the word new that's important. A new person for the singles, but for those of you in a relationship, making room for the new energy to come through. And for some of you who are in relationships that aren't working anymore, very difficult, but the word new will mean that you perhaps need to let go of what's not working and make room for something new to come in down the track. And that can't happen if we're clinging on to things that are no longer working. So looking at the week, I don't know that we've got strong theme. Teaching would come through strongly, I guess, trusting our intuition. But really it's kind of a mixed bag here. We've got romance again, listening to our intuition, allowing love to flow. I suppose this message here actually would be about the way people treat us and making sure we're setting healthy boundaries, and we're making sure that people treat us fairly, because we deserve that. And if we can't allow people to treat us, if we are putting up with people who are not treating us well, then we're saying to the universe that we don't think we matter. And you don't want to send that message to the universe, because then it will just send you more of those people, and you will find you struggle to get ahead in your career, in your relationships, to get traction, to evolve, because you're getting stuck. You don't want that. You want to always be growing. Monday, what do we have here? This was about good fortune coming through, very timely, and about the need to make sure that we are trying to own that process in terms of making plans and working with them. Now, Friday is a full moon in Sagittarius. Is it Friday? Yes, it is Friday. that might be different in different time zones, but Sagittarius is about, it's about travel, worldliness. It's about they're big issue type people. They focus on what's going on. They talk a lot about in terms of, you know, world issues, and they can be a bit preachy. They do tend to jump on their soapbox a lot. They talk a lot, very verbose. And that doesn't mean that every single person watching this as a Sagittarius is going to resonate with all those things, because those are just possibilities, of course. But anyway, I'm just talking about the sort of energy that may come through that may resonate with you. What else can Sagittarius be about? Oh, they can be very techno-savvy, particularly on social media. And so it's a good time to work with those sorts of things, the things you want to be using. For example, if you want to be pushing, you know, starting up a social media channel, or you want to be, or you've, you know, started a relationship with someone in another country, all those sorts of things can be really highlighted around that time. So I'll put these on my my Instagram and my Facebook page every day, as I normally do. We'll give you more detail, help you to really focus on those messages. If you do have questions, you can get hold of me via my blog, which is www.onegroundedangel.com. I can't even remember it. And there is a contact form on there as well if you would like to book a personal reading. I'm happy to take your questions, but if they are very specific about your life and your sort of quest for guidance, you will need to book a personal reading, which I can do for anyone anywhere in the world via Skype or email. Now, my Instagram account is at @OneGroundedAngel, and my Facebook page is also called One Grounded Angel. So keep a lookout for each card each day. I post them I live in Sydney, so I post them in Australian time, Eastern Standard Time. It's about 7 a.m. roughly, depending on what I've got going on for the day. So thank you so much. That's about it for the week. I really enjoy hearing your stories and your feedback, and thank you so much for all the love and support you send back to me, which helps lift me and helps me give back more to you. It's about more energy back to you. It's about that whole cycle of giving and receiving. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll read for you again next week. Goodbye.